Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to Catex TV. The situation in Tianjin, China was exacerbated by heavy rain yesterday. It hampered recovery efforts. This is as a result of after last week's deadly explosions, and it also exposed Tianjin's population to further risk from dangerous chemicals, some of which can be ignited by contact with water, i.e. rain. The warehouse that exploded held around 700 tons of highly toxic sodium cyanide. According to engineers at the site, we're paying high attention to the rain forecast for the coming few days. When rain evaporates, there's also a risk that it could disperse hazardous residues on the ground, which may set off further chemical reactions as well as further explosions. According to the U.S. EPA, sodium cyanide, which was stored there, is a poisonous white powder that can become combustible when it mixes with water. 8 of 40 water testing points, all within the cleanup area, showed excess levels of cyanide. The cleanup area now, in fact, is some 1.8 miles wide. It's an exclusion zone. Nobody's allowed in. About 40 toxic chemicals were being stored at the warehouse. Not perhaps uncoincidentally, Chinese authorities have arrested 15,000 people in China on suspicion of cybercrime, including hacking, online fraud, and illegal sale of personal information. Authorities launched a 6-month special operation, so-called Clean the Internet, on July 1st. According to a professor at the University of California at Berkeley, he has never seen a crackdown on cybercrime at this level in China. He said it's possible that some of those arrested could be activists or people who have been commenting on the situation in Tianjin and the government's response to it. The general atmosphere is very tight when it comes to commenting on Tianjin. 2 typhoons are chugging away in Southeast Asia, heading toward Japan and possibly to Taiwan. One could skim Taiwan or the northern Philippines with super-typhoon force by the end of the week. Typhoon Goni is leading the way. We mentioned that one yesterday. It's moving northwest. It's got Category 4 winds topping 135 miles per hour. And as of yesterday, the second storm is Typhoon Atsani. It's about 1,000 miles east of Goni, but it's turning toward Japan. It too has winds near the Category 4 range. Both storms are gaining strength, and according to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, will reach super-typhoon status with winds in excess of 150 miles per hour by Thursday. That would be this week. The last time there were 2 super-typhoons in the Pacific at the same time was in October of '97. Meanwhile, in the Atlantic, Tropical Depression 4 strengthened yesterday afternoon and is now Tropical Storm Danny. It's got sustained winds of about 40 miles per hour. It's 1,600 miles east of the Windward Islands in the eastern Caribbean. It's forecast to strengthen into the first hurricane of the 2015 season on Thursday. National Hurricane Center is forecasting the strengthening into a Category 1 on Thursday and then intensifying to a Category 2 on Sunday. That would be sustained winds of 98 miles per hour. It's a fledgling storm at this time, but it has a formidable pedigree. Looking back at all the August storms that have formed within 200 miles of where Danny is located, the list includes some infamous hurricanes such as Hurricane Andrew, Francis, David, and Allen. The German Parliament last night overwhelmingly approved a $95 billion bailout for Greece, with Chancellor Angela Merkel and her finance minister failing to curb a revolt among their own conservative lawmakers who voted against it. Fortunately, everybody else did vote for it. More than half a dozen water mains were ruptured in the East Bay area of San Francisco's Bay Area, mainly in Oakland, as a result of that 4.0 earthquake on Monday morning. According to the Water District spokesperson, we had at least 7 high-priority main breaks, and 6 are in the strong earthquake shake zone, or within half a mile of the Hayward fault line. On average, we receive 2 or 3 main breaks a day, so this is slightly more than double. The incident serves as a reminder of the infrastructure hazards of a major seismic event in the area. According to the spokesperson, we could see hundreds or thousands of main breaks and would have enormous impacts. We'd recommend customers have a minimum of 3 to 7 days worth of water at their home in the event of an emergency. There have been and are numerous wildfires in the American West. We've refrained from covering them. They seemingly are not doing any damage to insured properties yet, but we couldn't fail to notice this story. Top fire officials in California are saying that private drones are posing a serious danger to firefighting air crews and other emergency workers battling those wildfires, with more than a dozen incursions reported this summer. Most recently, a DC-10 air tanker, which is a very big plane, was returning to base after fighting a fire in Northern California. It came within 50 feet of a drone. The most immediate and critical issue we face, said a spokesperson for the California Wildfire Fighting Group, is that we face a serious threat of these drones with the irresponsible use of them, is placing our air crews, pilots, and others in immediate danger. He said aircraft had to be pulled from a recent fire in the Cajun Pass for several minutes because of the presence of 5 drones. In other cases, air ambulances have reported near collisions with drones, including an incident in Fresno last week when a helicopter came within 25 feet of a drone. Who are these drones and who's operating them? Many of the drone operators are hobbyists, some of whom hope to post their video on YouTube. Others say that they may be freelancers hoping to sell footage of disasters to TV news stations. In response, the state has launched a public service campaign with a TV commercial titled, "If You Fly, We Can't," in which California fire pilots talk about the danger of sharing the skies with hobby drones. These people should be locked up. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.